Hi guys, I know it's been a while since you've seen these faces, right? But you know, we just take a little break and we're back officially.
On the track.
So today we'll be talking about Breonna Taylor's case.
Yeah, it's a very serious situation.
Right? It affects all of us, all colored people, all minorities. It affects all of us. So let's get into it.
Wait, where's my phone?
So in summary, her and her current boyfriend were sleeping and police break down the door and
them so-called have a warrant. That's what we read about.
Yeah, and the boyfriend had fired shots at the police because he thought that it was her ex-boyfriend, which
right.
was an alleged
drug dealer, right.
Which he was the person who the police was looking for in the first place. So he fired shots, of course, and then the police then fire back, hitting Breonna multiple times.
One of the things that's why
I want to first of all say that this case was, as usual, hard to go through, and regardless of the context or the situation that you're in, the justice system is rigged against the less fortunate. In the USA, it's your color, and in Jamaica, it's your social class. So if you're poor, you know, you're last, isn't it? So it's hard to process. It makes me feel angry the way the situation was handled. You could attempt to defend yourself and you'd still be wrong, and that's just the justice system for a black person right now. You get what I'm saying? You could be using the same constitution that is implemented to protect you, and because you're a shade darker, correct me if I'm wrong, Constitution doesn't apply to you. You know what I think? Here's a crazy theory. So they had to grant the people freedom, right? So we couldn't be their slaves anymore. They couldn't be their slaves anymore. And all of a sudden comes these amendments, like the rights to bear arms against these people. So if they decide to threaten you, I guess it's the right for them to take your life. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a crazy theory though, but I was just thinking of it. And you know, it's crazy how the only thing one officer lost his job for was shooting carelessly at another neighbor's house. It's weird. That's crazy. That's hurtful. Can we talk about the poor training of these police officers? Can we just think about the situation? After 12 in the morning, right? You're barging into somebody's house. They could be sleeping. They probably didn't even hear you identify yourself. You get what I'm saying? Why did you have to go in the night? Why would you spray the house when you knew she wasn't a threat? It's just hurtful. You know, it's a lot of things, a lot of loopholes, it's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of things that don't make sense, and then these officers, after carelessly taking an innocent woman's life, have not been charged, not even a pinch, for the role they played in taking the life of a woman who they're supposed to protect. It's just a lot. It's messy. It's messy, and I think that's what the police system in the United States of America looks like to me. A lot of mess, because they have no self-control, and when they are out to do their jobs, in these extreme cases, it looks like they have not been trained. It looks like they didn't even sit around a round table to say, okay, this is how we're gonna go in. If this strategy doesn't work, let's go in this way, let's try not to kill anybody today. They didn't do that. They just said, you know what, if them for dead, I saw it go. Because they don't care. We can get up and we can protest every single day. And all these celebrities and all these actors can get up and them can chant and them can preach and them can put up them hashtag and all of them stuff. You know what these people are going to do? Probably ban the app, or them block you, or them blatantly rub it in your face and listen, you have no power here. And it's the truth. It's hurtful to read all those news reports and all those articles. It was a girl believing that this year was going to be her year because of everything that she was achieving. Just got enrolled for school, bought her first car, you know, doing so well in her job. It was hurtful. The way she died. It's frustrating to talk about. And all these people who are going to sit there and talk about, oh, this is Jamaica, that's not. I'm going to tell you something. In the United States, it's race. In Jamaica, it's a social class. So it's still divided, however you want to look at it. Remember I said, in any context, the justice system is rigged against the less fortunate.
I was reading about it, but I didn't like when it said Bert Atkinson, a detective at the time, fired into the slide glass patio door and the window of Miss Taylor's apartment, both of which were covered with blinds, in violation of department policy that requires officers to have a line of sight. So that means they never have no sight of who was inside of the house.
It could have been a child. It could have been It could have been anybody.
Sight.
My thing is the police officers have a duty to serve and protect all citizens regardless of class, race, gender, sexuality, regardless of everything. Your duty is to serve and protect. No, yes, the man fire shot off on me, yes, and that wrong, and of course you would retaliate, but at the same time a one shot would have been understood.
Yeah, but wait, before you say anything else, Jessica, it would have felt as if to say somebody's breaking into your house, so if me draw my legal weapon, may have all right to shoot my
and
gun.
What neighborhood was it? Let us understand the ethical issues behind this scenario, this situation, right? As black people, I don't live in the States personally, but as black people in the States, based off Twitter and things that I've heard or things that I've come in contact with, you know that black persons in certain states don't feel safe. So as such, they carry a little protection. And mind you, this weapon that the boyfriend had fired is a legal weapon, so it was not illegal, right? That's for protection purposes. So a man somebody breaking in your house hours a night. No, your first reaction is to protect yourself.
Exactly, and he asked, you know, he said, who is it? Multiple times he asked who it is.
And they did not answer.
Alright, when me see my door kick off, first thing I go to a fire shot, me not ask who again.
No, the ethical questions that arise from this scenario is, would the situation have been treated differently if it were a white neighborhood? If it were a white person, if it was a person of status, would they have reacted differently? What made them react in such a way that ended in a way that Breonna had to lose her life?
And then
Breonna
again, she was a police too.
Exactly. No.
A police too. So
no. As a police officer, I feel like as a police officer, you shouldn't view anybody as anything. Everybody in your eyes should be a citizen that needs protection. No, I'm not saying that they were racist. I'm not just going to say that because I don't know. But at the same time, the questions that I'm asking is, would it have been done differently if she was, or if they were of a different skin tone, if they were of a different neighborhood, a different race, a different class, a different status? Would the situation have been treated
and if she wasn't dating a alleged drug dealer?
No, the situation could have been handled a lot differently, and the justice that was served is not a favorable one to people of color. No, this did not just happen to Breonna Taylor. This happened to all of us. The whole of we feel it now we're born. The whole of we feel it now we're born. Everybody. It could have been me. It could have been my mother, my sister, my friend. Anybody said earth, the whole of we earth to core.
Can you imagine? And then they give her mother a wrongful death. If it was wrongful death, why isn't the police charged? Only one person get fired. One person was fired blindly inside of the place.
My thing is, the policeman had made a statement that said it is so sad. No, don't quote me. I'm just go off memory. He said something like it is just sad that they are being charged with something. So I don't remember, and the criminals are being let out. Now, who is he referring to as criminal? Who is the criminal in this case? Because Breonna nor her current boyfriend were doing anything wrong. And it was alleged that her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer. Now, who is the person doing something wrong? I'm not understanding. I know that white people, some white people like that, sees our skin tone or skin color as a weapon. No, that has nothing to do with black people. That has nothing to do with we. That has something to do with your mental caliber. Like how you just look on a person and think that they're less than human or a minority. Like, what gave you the right or the authority to even think that? Like, that's crazy, bro.
And even when Atkinson got shot and the ambulance, because they had sent away the ambulance, you know, because based on what I was reading, they had sent away the ambulance and everything. And then when Atkinson got shot, they called back the police and the ambulance, sorry, and when the ambulance came back, they never did appear the girl the man, and the guy said one to my girlfriend, one to my girlfriend, and them only and in thigh him get shot and she get multiple shots. And them say she died after 1 minute. Listen, 1 minute.
That is negligence, and I am not one to judge, but I'm not ask Christ. That's racist. That's racist. If it were your mother, what would you have done? If it was a friend of yours, what would you have done? If it was somebody of a higher skin tone, what would they have done? What would they have done differently? Like what situation would have made them react differently? This is a human being. This is somebody with a mother. This is somebody with cousins, with nieces. This is a whole human being. They just feel the need for the shoot. You just feel the need for the
just because of past relationships. And even if she got her life together, even if she was with the drugs dealer allegedly, right, and she got her life together and she was with somebody else, even though it in a one bad area or whatever, she moved on with her life. She moved on and she was with somebody else, right? Everything did have gone good and everything, and all of a sudden, because them feel say, one of the things I read was that they were sending drugs there because they were using her address to get drugs out. So they would have pick up packages, right? Pick up packages from her house. Even so, that give her the right to shoot somebody. My God.
Is that what they learned in training? I'm not understanding. The moral underlying issue is the situation was not dealt with properly, and the fact that they're refusing to admit that they were flawed in their action says a lot about them as a human being. Now, when we just erase the police officer outside, as a human being, as somebody with integrity and emotions, you must see in yourself say you do something wrong. You must.
And then you go see after them retire, them go on come on Fox News, because you know them always take to go to Fox News because Fox News is very racist. Yeah, me gotta say it. Very racist. And them go up on Fox News and say, oh, you know, back then this is what happened, because a lot of times, and you can research for yourself. Say when them go back, a lot of times them say, oh, you know, we did wrong when we did do this.
Like the Emmett Till case,
exactly,
when
when
they had lied that the man, little boy.
She said when she up on a deathbed, she ready.
Or 11-year-old
deathbed,
young
you
man
could talk.
was afraid, and she
Hello?
after years she said she lied. This is a man that her husband beat and drop down at the bottom of the ocean or lake. And after years, oh, you live with that? What kind of person you be?
What kind of person you be?
And then
hello?
you just born
pack right up. Right.
On a wake up nation, and she said, Donkey, Donkey said the world not left.
Not left.
It's not left. And as black people, we need to unite and stand together. I love the movement, Black Lives Matter.
And
like,
when we say Black Lives Matter, when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that
all lives don't matter.
Right. We're saying at the time, in this moment,
in this day and age,
Black lives don't matter. Because people feel the need that them can kill you and kill me because
George Floyd, the guy where did that jog and the father and the son just shoot him for no reason. The man in the park with the girl and her dog, and she just called the police and said the black man arrest her or whatever. You know, those little things. So we need to unite as a people, and like I said, it's not just Breonna Taylor. It could have been you, could have been me, could have been our moms or dads, everything. So
that'd be my sister.
And as a nation, we love the fact that we're so united as a people, as a nation, for us come together and fight. So I'd love for us to just continue fighting and know that our voice matters, and we mean a lot to each other. You know, we're the only thing that we have. So let's keep safe and remember, Black Lives Matter, and rep Breonna Taylor for life.
From the New York City protests the police don't want you to see. Protesting has continued every single day in New York City. Police follow these protests with dozens of cop cars, helicopters, and always show up in riot gear. They are illegally targeting leaders like Derek of Warriors in the Garden. Outside his house, NYPD stations over 30 police cars and tactical units. Shut down the block, monitoring him with drones, helicopters, snipers. I even got this footage of police on other people's roofs trying to monitor the situation. He had literally done nothing. There was no warrant, and it took protesters to get police to withdraw. This is an example of NYPD illegally trying to silence the movement. They want you to forget the sound of incarcerated people from the Manhattan Detention Center joining in the protest. That it has been 150 days since Breonna Taylor was murdered in her sleep, and her murderers still walk free. That she was an EMT, an essential worker fighting the coronavirus pandemic, and the police continue to not wear masks. Just because TikTok treated the Black Lives Matter movement like a trend does not mean that it is one. Keep getting involved. The revolution is happening now.
In case you forgot, it was March 13th, 2020. She was only 26 years old. She was a nursing student, an emergency room technician, a first responder, and an essential worker. She loved her job. In case you forgot, officers barged into the wrong home. The suspect they were looking for, you ask, already in custody. In case you forgot, her boyfriend Kenneth, a legal gun owner, fired out of fear and self-defense, hitting an officer in the leg. The officers fired back 22 times. And in case you forgot, she was shot 8 times despite the incident report listing her injuries as none. No knock order in place, no drugs to be found, and no body camera footage put her body in the ground. In case you forgot, it took 3 months to fire the officer responsible while the others were simply reassigned. In case you forgot, not one of these men have been charged. In case you forgot, Black lives still matter, and we are not done. Murder is wrong, and a badge should not shield them from the wrong that they've done. In case you forgot, her name was Breonna Taylor, and we are not done.